Hello, we are with Southwest Airlines. My name is Aaron. This is Steve, Brian, and Luke. And today we're going to talk to you about a really cool program we're going to try to roll out in the near future. Before we dive into the program, I just want to kind of highlight a few things that is important to us as a company, and I think it's important to the environment as well. I want to highlight the topics of climate change and also recycling. So, nearly 37% of Americans think that climate change is a hoax. And on top of that, nearly 64% of Americans think climate change is real, but shouldn't change the way we live. As you can see from this NASA study that was done, CO2 levels have been on the rise since the Industrial Revolution. Since 1950, they've risen above the 300 level mark, which they have never been ever in the history of the planet. These CO2 risen levels are a major contributor to greenhouse gases, and can be very critical to our atmosphere and our global climate change. Recycling is another thing we want to hit on. Recycling, there's 4 major things that we figured can contribute to making recycling more effective. It reduces carbon emissions. How does it do that? Whenever you throw stuff away, it becomes waste, right? And not in so many places, but it can be, there's a potential for it to become combusted. A lot of people burn trash in a lot of states and a lot of cities. Not only that, but recycling can help to minimize landfills and accumulation in landfills. So with the potential to overflow landfills, no one wants a big overflowing landfill in their area. And if a lot of these cities that are creating these landfills, well, there's a lot of cities now that are being forced to create landfills when they never have before. Beefing up property value. It's been shown, studies have shown that subdivisions and neighborhoods that recycle and make it mandatory to recycle or have some kind of recycling program have a higher property value than those that don't. And not only that, but it can accelerate technological advances. There's a big push in the social community for recycling to have a greener carbon footprint and things like that. And this is forcing companies to be more creative in the way they come up with new product lines and the way they get rid of their waste. One of the major companies in our area, right, is Texas Instruments, which is like just down the street. So Texas Instruments recycles 85% of their waste. They have a very low waste level. So how can we help now? So us as humans, how can we help now? So there's a lot of options. Carpooling, for one, to curb emissions. It's not the hottest thing to do, it's not the most popular, but it can have an impact. Recycling, as we just talked about, I mean, a lot of our cities that we live in today, especially in DFW, make it really easy to do so. They give us lots of options, and they help us, they kind of push us that way in the general direction of recycling. Bikes and scooter programs, and bikes and scooters in general, they're pretty inexpensive, they're easy to use, and especially if you work close to where you live or work close to where you go to school and live, it's a viable option. And then reusable goods, so trash bags, a lot of goods are reusable that people don't know about, and that's another major way to contribute towards the recycling. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Steve, and he's going to talk about who we are as a company.
Thank you, Aaron. So, who are we? We're Southwest Airlines, and over here, as you can see, we have the mission statement, which basically says that we are committed to provide our employees with a stable work environment with equal opportunities for learning and personal growth. Southwest Airlines evaluates business through 3 different lenses. You have performance, people, and the planet. Southwest has invested in many different changes, not only in the air but also in the ground. A majority of that includes improving fuel efficiency with a 29% increase since 2005. They have also installed lighter seats in newer planes to drastically decrease the overall weight of the aircrafts, which is a key determinant of gas consumption. Technological changes such as using simple tablets instead of heavy paper manuals on flights resulted in charts driving a 500,000 reduction in gallon consumption. They also properly dispose of recycling materials consumed in flight, such as aluminums, cans, and papers. Lastly, Southwest has also agreed to purchase 3 million gallons of low-carbon renewable jet fuel starting every year from 2019. Southwest Airlines past charities and current charities. Southwest Airlines has basically been involved with many charities, some going back up to 10 years. Some of them include Team Rubicon Disaster Response, Dream Foundation, Tool Bank USA, and American Red Cross, and many more, as you can see. In 2014, Southwest generously donated about $20 million worth of travel and cash to national and nonprofit organizations. In 2018, Southwest received about 15,000 donation requests and distributed more than around 40,000 tickets for a combined value of $19 million in total contributions. So who is our target? Our main idea is to roll out a pilot program for a potential Southwest Airlines reward program called the Green Points program. The target that we'll be trying to focus is the Dallas-based residents and how they can make a difference by helping the environment and traveling at the same time. We're trying to have a great impact in Dallas-Love Field. Dallas-Love Field is actually a major hub for Southwest, and their corporate headquarters is located also at Dallas-Love Field. Just last year, Southwest evolved and carried about 134 million passengers in the U.S., more than any other airline. And also, Southwest has never got close to filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and they've made money consecutively for 42 years. With that being said, I'm going to hand it off to Brian to talk about the Green Point system.
So the Green Point system will be partnering with programs such as the City of Dallas and these companies such as Uber, Lyft, Limebike, and Bird. We decided to partner with the City of Dallas because it is a large hub for recycling and things you can bring over to recycle. So instead of having to spend a lot of money in order to build a lot of recycling plants, we already have this infrastructure here so that, again, we don't have to spend all that money. And then we decided to partner with companies such as Uber, Lyft, Limebike, and Bird because they already have a large presence in Dallas regarding rideshare or bike share programs, so that we don't have to also shell out a lot of money in order to build these starter programs from the ground up. And it's natural to want to partner with a program that already exists instead of having to completely start from scratch. So the Green Points program is intended to be an offshoot of the already existing Southwest Rapid Rewards program, in which you can partner your credit card and obtain points by just simply spending money through that credit card. You can get points by bringing your recyclables to any Dallas recycling center. Here you have a link just to find your closest Dallas recycling center, so you can drop off your trash there, and then you can obtain a receipt and scan it in through your app to obtain points. Through carpooling, you can just order your Uber or Lyft or scooter or whatever just through the rideshare bike share program, but it just has to be done through the app. We have potential status tiers as rewards in order to incentivize people to help the environment and to use it, because as you go through the tiers, your chance to gain points, it improves. Exchange rates we would assume to be about, let's say 100 points per 1 pound of trash that you bring to a recycling center, or 100 points per rideshare ordered through our app. And you won't have to worry about any hassle of any mismanaged points, because since the Green Points program is tied directly into the Southwest Rapid Rewards app, it'll automatically be added to your account, to your Southwest Rapid Rewards account, which has an ID number, which is also tied into the carpooling system. And now to top it all off, we have Luke.
All right, so I get to talk about the fun stuff that everybody cares about, which is financials. So some of y'all may care. There's a light button. Okay, so measurement of results. So in order to measure how we are successful in this program, we're going to go off a number of different things. Mainly the ones are going to be, has there been an increase in recycling in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? That's the whole point of this program, which is why we're going to measure that as our #1 priority. So if we notice that after maybe a couple months or maybe even a year of this program being in place, we're going to look and see, has there been a massive increase in recycling? Have these plants that Brian just talked about, have they seen an influx of traffic to these programs just because people are trying to book these flights through the Rapid Rewards program instead? So another one is going to be have Uber, Lime, Lyft, and Bird all seen an increase in usage and sales in the DFW area. So when Southwest debuted the Rapid Rewards program app, or their main program, they actually saw a 50% increase in flights being booked because people say once they've used their credit card with Chase, or once they book flights, they get points for said flights, and then they can reuse those directly into new flights. So once people see Rapid Rewards program, they say, I want to be a part of something that gives me free stuff. That's why every restaurant, every company has one. I mean, anything you can think of, they have it. So they saw a massive increase, and that's why we're trying to build on that. Another third one, one of the third major one that we're looking at, is does the Southwest app see enough traffic to justify this program? So right now, the Southwest app uses about 30,000 people a day. So like I said, they flew 134 million passengers just alone last year. Well, they see about 30,000 people a day. This is based off the Southwest's own website that I was looking at. And just enough traffic. And some of these people aren't even booking flights, they're just checking prices, times, that kind of thing. Well, when you see, say, oh, hey, you have a special offer for a free flight, this may incentivize them saying, oh, well, maybe we can afford a vacation earlier this year. So those are kind of our main points that we're looking at. These are the main points. There's also obviously a couple more gestures saying a lot of financials that involve saying, is it worth it? So this is why it's going to be a pilot program before it's debuted across the country. We're just using Dallas-Fort Worth as like our guinea pig. Okay, so the main financials. So right here in this graph, it's going to show that Southwest Airlines and American Airlines hold the two largest market shares of airline companies in the United States. The caveat of that is Southwest Airlines is growing at a rate of 80% per year because they keep building, and they've had 42, 43 consecutive years of profit revenues without ever having to declare bankruptcy. American Airlines had declared bankruptcy very recently and had to merge with United Airways in order to save that. And they kept the American Airline name, but actually the American Airline company was going very south. So this is going to change. Southwest is going to change the main market share within the next year. They're projected to hit the 18.5% within the next year, while this is going to decrease, and they're going to steal from Delta, United, and American. So the main point of the financial side of it is Southwest has the potential to lose money because people are going to be getting free flights from elsewhere. They're going to be spending money at other restaurants, other companies, stores, that kind of thing, to earn those points, and then walking over to Southwest and saying, hey, I want a free flight. So the point of that is if people are going to spend money elsewhere, they're going to lose money. Why would Southwest do this? So in order to offset that, we've decided to implement a contract clause with every single company that we partner with, Uber, Lyft, Lime, etc., that they receive a portion of their sales. So with the increased traffic to those companies, they're going to see more sales, they're going to see more revenue. We're going to have some of that revenue rediverted back over to Southwest, so that way it kind of offsets the cost, and then all the companies profit from this program, along with the main point of this is recycling and green points. So if we go to the next one. Okay, so like I said earlier, Southwest has been the most profitable year again. They've never posted a negative year in their time of an airline company. So they hold the most dominant market share, like I just touched on. And 2017 was just posted. They just didn't have a cool graphic like this one. So the operating revenue was $20.4 billion. Their income market, they made $3.2 billion alone last year in just straight net income. So with that net income, obviously they have, this is 2016, 3.2 is 2017. So with that in net income, they have, Dallas market is obviously their biggest market because they are the hub of Southwest Airlines. So with that, Dallas area is pulling over $1 billion in net income just by itself because they're the largest hub. Along with that, so then they also have a order for new airplanes to help subsidize the market and incentivize people to come and fly with Southwest. Whereas, I'm sure you guys all know, if you fly with Southwest, you get 2 free check bags, there's no first class, anything like that. It's all super, everybody there is super friendly. There's no negative sides of Southwest, and everybody loves Southwest. And so with that, the yearly maintenance of these kind of things is just going to be, the only thing that we're thinking about is the app. So we looked up Starbucks, Fuzzies, a lot of big companies that have these big time rewards apps programs. Starbucks was the first one to roll out one of those rewards programs that was phone-based, where you scan in if you're buying a coffee or a snack or something like that. at a Starbucks coffee shop, they were the first ones to roll out the STARS program. I'm sure we all have gold cards. I know I do. I don't even like coffee. So the cost of operating a corporate app is about $100,000, give or take, to found one of those corporate apps and make it look good, make it run smoothly, because nobody wants a laggy app. Nobody's going to use that. As long as it's user-friendly, people are going to use it. So yearly maintenance is about $10,000. That's just to make sure, keep updating it, make it look good, make sure there's no bugs, make sure there's nothing like that people can find and exploit. So what we projected to say is that it's going to be about $20,000 to add the points renewal program onto the app. Find a UI developer who can create this and make it intertwined with Uber, Lyft, Bird, all of those apps, and make sure that the Southwest app plays nicely with all of those apps, and it's just one simple login. And then they're just going to have their Southwest Airlines developers continue to tweak it and make it look really good, and now a user interface is top-notch. So, to get away from all the boring numbers, so our potential growth, as you can see from my fun map, potential growth. So, like I said earlier, Dallas is one of the biggest hubs is the biggest hub for Southwest, and also one of the biggest hubs for American Airlines, and has a minor hub of United and Delta. So, while of that, Southwest is still Dallas's biggest cash cow, for lack of a better word, and so we're still looking to expand this. Dallas is our guinea pig, and we're still playing on the wheel of saying if it's gonna work. Once we figure out if it's going to work, which it looks like it should, once we figure out that it's going to work, we're going to expand this to other big markets, Chicago, New York, Boston, LA, and see if they do well. LA is one of the biggest companies in pollution, so they definitely need to look at the program. So the whole goal is to bring environmentally friendly savings to people throughout the United States and eventually new countries. Closing summary, so Southwest environmental protection is the top concern, and we really, really look forward to helping out and contributing to not only the Dallas-Fort Worth market, but eventually to new markets as well. So, and with that, does anybody have any questions? Yes.
All right, so you mentioned having people bring recycling to a center. Most neighborhoods provide recycling units, so how big of an incentive are you providing to people to take it to the center versus recycling through their neighborhood program?
Sure. So, like I said, a lot of those neighborhood programs are free for those customers, and it's provided by the HOA of the city. Those customers, we are going to offer maybe 100 points a pound.